Hi, welcome back to Readings and Commentary with Insane Sam. These are readings from history, philosophy, poetry, literature, just anything in the written word I like that I think you might like. And this week we're going to have a lot of fun. It's going to be some Richard Nixon satire. And it's all going to come out of this book by Art Buchwald, who is a great political satirist for decades and decades, but he was especially funny during the Vietnam War and during the Watergate scandal. So you're going to need a little, the first one is Richard Nixon's "I am a crook" statement. You're going to need a little history on this. Nixon had been accused of several financial misdeeds, and one of them was he donated his presidential papers to the National Archives and took a $500,000 tax write-off for it. Well, this is something other presidents had done before. Harry Truman did it, Dwight Eisenhower did it. The problem is Congress had changed the law. And after a certain date, those records were no longer going to be tax deductible. So Nixon got a bunch of his aides to backdate a bunch of documents. He put in for over $500,000 worth of tax deductions. They were eventually denied by the IRS, and they slapped him with a $500,000 tax bill that he couldn't pay. He also was involved with a sleazy real estate deal, which is how he got his San Clemente West Coast White House. What he did was he bought a house that had a bunch of acreage on it from one of his supporters, then sold most of the land back to the guy, kept the house plus the beachfront land, and basically got the house for free. So the press was really on Nixon about his financial dealings. And at a press conference, people think this remark was made in a speech, but it was at a press conference when they were asking about these cheesy financial dealings. And so in response to one of the questions, this is what he said. And so that's where the money came from. Let me just say this, and I want to say this to the television audience. I made my mistakes, but in all of my years of public life, I have never profited from public service. I have earned every cent. And in all my years of public life, I have never obstructed justice. And I think, too, I could say in my years of public life that I welcome this kind of examination, because the people have got to know whether or not their president is a crook. Well, I am not a crook, and I've earned everything I've got. Well, of course, those turned out to be some wild words when things went down the line a little farther for Mr. Nixon. So that's the reading for today. I hope you liked it. The next two are going to be some Art Buchwald satires that I think you're just really going to love. I'm going to have to give you a history lesson on those too. So that's the reading for today. Do me a favor, press the button and subscribe. Get your friends to subscribe. And with that, Insane Sam out.